Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us again this week after last week's absolute bombshell of an episode. I think we are all still reeling from it, but we're super excited to keep going. Oh, thank you, 5 Foot Latina. We are excited too because Drew and I have no idea what's going on. So we're super excited. Um, but before we get into that, I have a list of dates if everyone wants them. Mal tweeted some of hers out already. I will make sure that these get on the Homebrews and Homebodies page. And so that way there are reminders of when everything is. Because yet again, Mal and I are taking part in their Indie December month of highlighting indie gamers. There's actually one of the games that they're playing that has not even been fully released yet. They're literally waiting for the publisher to release the content so they can set the date for the stream. But as of right now, Mal is a busy bee this week. She is going to be playing a game of Boy Problems on Ladies of D&D tomorrow at 9 Eastern, so 8 Central. What was the premise of that one, Mal?
Boy Problems is based on a real thing of a vault of Carly Rae Jepsen songs. There are 200 of them that have been unreleased. And in Boy Problems, it's a cyberpunk heist where you have been hired to go steal this vault of 200 Carly Rae Jepsen songs.
So there we go. If you want some cyberpunk with some Carly Rae Jepsen, you know where to tune in. And I am actually going to make sure tonight before we get off that we will host them as well. So you'll be able to end up on their page, but it'll play on our page too. And then also tomorrow, so it came out early. Morbid Colors, the movie that our wonderful Drew is in. It came out early on Prime. You can rent or buy it on Amazon Prime. But tomorrow it is supposed to also release on Hulu. So keep a lookout for that. I'm super excited to see it. A bunch of people I know are in it, so I'm super excited to see all of their talent.
It looks so good.
Drew already watched it. Drew loves it. And we found out he is in a gang. So there you go. So Wednesday, Mal again has the Creator's Journey panel at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 Central. It is going to be on Ladies of D&D. From what I understand, they're going to be talking to a handful of people who have created their own games, and just kind of have. I'm assuming there's going to be like chat, question interaction, and things along those lines. But that will be Wednesday on Ladies of D&D. And then Thursday, we will be back here for Descent into Avernus to see what we're doing. We're going to try and move this up to 8:30 Eastern, 7:30 Central. I don't know why I keep wanting to say Pacific. Which, no, I know why I want to, because everything we do is in Pacific time because all of our friends are in California or on the west coast of Canada. So all of the times we've been trying to figure out, and all of our chats have been in Pacific time. Then next week, on the 21st, Mal and I are going to play in a solstice themed D&D game of Be Gay Do Crime on Gnome Anne's page, and I cannot tell you how excited I am. Gnome Anne is one of my all-time favorites, and the fact that we get to not only play Thirsty Sword Lesbians with her later, like as her a player with us, but we get to play a game with her DMing, and I'm super friggin' pumped about it. Also,
I get to do two with her GMing because she's also the GM of Boy Problems.
That is true. That is true. I'm so excited. We're crossing so many things off. I swear. Jersey Shore season 7 bullshit. Also, doxing is an actual crime, and you accused me of it last week, and I will not let that stand because I did not give out sensitive information by saying one single first name. So, don't accuse me of crimes. That's slander or libel, one of the two. Anyway, so we're doing that one on the 21st. Then the next day, on the 22nd, we are playing The Last Masquerade at 8 Eastern, again on Ladies of D&D. Super pumped about this one. I still don't quite get it. All I know is I get to basically throw together an imaginary costume via the internet, which gives me all of the options to pick a very fancy masquerade ball gown and a masquerade mask and come up with a title and a name and all kinds of things. And you're supposed to be like keeping your secrets so that other people can't find out about them, but then there's a monster, so you don't want to get taken out by the monster. It seems very confusing, but like it's going to be a good time. And then the following week, on the 28th, we are going to be playing The Road That Rises. We do not have a time set for that. We're still kind of figuring that out because, again, we have some of our lovely friends in California who will be playing with us. We get to play in a game with Diana Restrepo.
I'm going to lose my daggone mind.
I am so excited.
And she's like a friend of ours. This
Yeah,
is not
like we've become friends. But like,
also, I'm so excited because we never got to play the table with her.
Yeah, we get to play with Diana, and then we also get to play in general in like different power dynamics with Gnome Ann as either a DM or as a player in a game. It's so many things. All the Christmas wishes are coming true. All the Christmas dreams. And then on the 29th is Thirsty Sword Lesbians, which I am the most excited about. And that will be on Ladies of D&D 7 Eastern. I promise we will put all of these dates out and we will keep giving you reminders. I just thought I would write it down and just spew all of it, at least in one video. And I will probably keep doing this as we go through the month on all of our streams. So yeah, so that's what we've got going on right now. I don't think I have anything else. So without further ado, let's kick it off with our fancy trailer. Give me just a second.
Hello. My name is Mallory Mize, and I am your game master here on Homebrews and Homebodies for Everyone's Forgotten, which is a series that uses Memory Lane as its system. For those of you that have not heard of Memory Lane or haven't been here for an episode before, Memory Lane is a system that I created and is set to be published early next year, but this is sort of its debut slash a playtest for it. So what happens is you have 6 different stats that you can choose from. You have I just forgot all of them. No, I didn't. Force, finesse, learn, logic, character, and vibes. So for each of those, you assign a die type. So D6 through D12 is what you start out with, unless you'd really like to be bad at something, then you can absolutely take a D4. And that's what you roll to determine how everything works out, and everything else you'll pretty much catch along the way. Some just like cleanup stuff here at the beginning. You will notice that when Kylie changes the thing over, there will only be 2 people underneath me. Ryan, who plays Calvin Box in this campaign, is away for scheduling, scheduling purposes, but he will be back starting next week, from what we know. And when we get back with Calvin, we will figure out what he's been up to for the past couple days of in-game time while we have been with Tom and Quinn for this whole time. So if we can go ahead and pull up the full thing with all 3 of us.
Oh, hi.
How lovely.
Team Quam.
It's
Team
so
Quam.
nice to see your faces again. So essentially what I would like to do is, first off, I would like to remind both of you. You both start with sparks. Drew, you start tonight with 2 because I was very late to the game to give you that second spark last week, so I'm going to let that carry over for your amazing acting and your vulnerability crying for us on stream, which I feel
so many
slightly bad
times,
about, but like
too many
maybe
maybe.
not.
Do I still get to keep my 2 sparks?
Did you have 2 sparks last
I had
week?
a spark before, and then I get a spark today, right? So I have 2 sparks?
I only let them carry over if it's one that you earned. Like if it's one that you got for free.
Yeah, it was the acting one that
Oh
we
no,
got.
yeah, you did. Okay, so then yeah, keep that too. So you both
Okay.
are starting with 2 sparks tonight. A quick
And what's my
recap.
memory modifier at now?
Oh gosh.
I'm at +2, man.
You're supposed to be keeping
Like-
track of this, Drew.
Better. Getting better. I think I went up like 2.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think you're at
In the
like
last
negative.
You're not at -7 anymore. I
No,
think you
you're
were
not.
at
I think
5
you're-
or 4. No, you were 4.
Because I already get a -2 for my intuition.
Yeah, I
I
think the
think you
memory
were at
modifier
4.
alone is a negative. I wanted to say a -3.
I thought I made it to -2. But okay, -3, gotcha.
No, I'll trust you. If it was -2, it was -2. You have your own character sheet. I have a million things to keep track of. I would absolutely believe that you're at -2. So you're at -2. Quinn is at +2. I did not do the little recap while we were in my one picture, so I'm going to go ahead and do it right now. Last week on Everyone's Forgotten, we heard that Calvin had gotten a text message. There was an emergency at the church, and Father Paul needed Calvin to come immediately. So Calvin is away at the church, trying to help with whatever emergency Father Paul has decided has come up. This left Quinn and Tom to their own devices. Tom chose to follow his tattoos, which he did not know the meaning of. After talking with Teddy and Maya, he was able to, and also looking around town, he was able to figure out that the flower on his hand is called a Penelope rose. And that Penelope, who is the person that they've been getting all these messages from, is somehow linked to Tom. We also learned that Quinn had some hacking abilities and decided to look up the names of pretty much everybody that she had encountered in town. She learned that Paul is one of Jeffrey Kahn's sons. She also learned that Tom has family that he never remembered having, including a sister, Penelope, and another sister, Luna. You saw a picture of Maya and who you assume is her mother, but you're not super sure. I don't even remember who all you looked up.
Let's go through.
Yes, please do.
Okay,
Please read for me what I gave you.
Just so we go through the whole list, because I wrote it all down, and I now have a notebook that I'm keeping everything in. So we know that Paul is the son of Jeffrey Kahn, who was the owner of the toy store, who we've figured out was killed in a robbery about 10 years ago, and that's when the toy store closed. Yeah, I know, notebook. I got office supplies, 5 Foot Latina. I even got a planner. Oh, it's so good. I love that you love office supplies as much as I do. Okay. So his wife and children are still in Grimsby. We've found out that Paul is one of his sons, and that the article said that he went on a trip somewhere. He went on holiday. So then Paul found out that Paul went to rehab for physical therapy. He was involved in some kind of accident. It could be a car accident, something along those lines. His hip was damaged. Audrey and Catherine were the two who left us the duffel bag after we followed the writing in the book. Found out they were high school. We already knew they were in high school. I think they were seniors, right?
Yes.
So they were high school seniors. There was a watch notice on their file when I went digging. And then when they disappeared, their reason was they were studying abroad for the second semester of their senior year, which no one does. Stuff I learned about Calvin. So Calvin has no birth record, but that makes sense because they moved here. He was the 8 of the, how many?
3,308.
3,308. There's a lot of records of him and doing community stuff, all of that. The only weird thing I could find was he has no emergency contact. So then I looked into Tom, and this is where shit started to get real. So of course, the first thing I found were the criminal records of drugs and theft. But then I started looking at his medical records. Years ago, he had a woman named Luna listed as his emergency contact. And now his emergency contact is Teddy. I then found a photo of Tom, about age 15, standing next to 2 girls, one who was about 8 and the other who was about 6. And the one who was 6 had bright red hair. And then I also have the Penelope Rose tattoo. And he also had a tattoo of the eye of Dr. T.J. Eckelberg from The Great Gatsby, which I got a memory from that one. Basically that I had showed Tom my crazy room before. And
String, so much string.
So much string.
He got a tattoo so he would not forget about it.
But I did.
Also, but you did. It's okay. But also found out that there was like some connection there that was very comfortable and safe and just comforting. And there may have been some love there. We weren't 100% sure. So then I kept searching. Maya, her file was flagged. We have some stuff from her in high school. We have a picture of her and Penelope. She got some art awards, and then we found the picture of Maya with an older woman, assuming it's a relative and probably her mother. Maya looks very rebellious, and her mother looks extremely like prim and proper and put together. So then we looked up Penelope. So Penelope Weaver, we know that she has flowers named after her. There are medical records for her until the age of 16. She was involved in a lot of sports. And then the only other thing I could find was a very small article that she had made the decision to go on a mission trip. Then we found out that Luna is actually Luna Weaver. another one of Tom's sisters. The photo I found of her, she had brown curly hair and blue eyes. She was in her early 20s. She had a few medical records, not too many. One of the main ones was she had appendicitis one time, but she came out fine through all of it. But then, toward the end of digging, I found a medical record that said she went to rehab for medical reasons. And then I looked up stuff on myself. I don't know if anyone else cares. I found a photo of a group of people at Bella's from about 7 years ago. Tom and I were together in the photo. Bella, her employees, my brother Riley, and some cops, and Paul were all in the photo as well. And it also looks like Calvin may have been in the background. Not 100% sure on that one. During that, I also got another memory, or at least a feeling of a memory, that Tom was like chatting with Riley and talking to the cops and just, you know, things that Tom would not do. And that it was probably, at that point, it was probably a budding romance between Quinn and Tom.
Team Quam.
Team Quam.
Team Quam. Every day.
Always and forever. I then dug a little bit because the main reason that Quinn started this whole crazy room was because she's trying to find out what happened to her parents. She found some information on her dad. He was the chief of police. And about 12 to 13 years ago, after having a very hard year on the force, he decided to go on holiday. And no one has heard from him since. And then her mother did a lot of scientific research, and about 6 years ago there was an article saying that she was going basically on a research expedition with a group of people out of the country, and she has yet to hear from her mother. So that is all the hacking that I was able to uncover.
So outside of that, I'm trying to think of what else
we had the
major
phone
happened.
call.
Yeah, I was about to say you all did have one phone call. You also had a set of text messages. So to Quinn's burner phone, there was a text message exchange that essentially said Penelope is still in Grimsby. There's no way they ever would have let her leave. That was about as much as you could get out of that. There was also a phone call, yet another one from the Reality Corporation. We still aren't super sure who they are or who set them up or anything like that. But there was a call where you could hear what sounded like a lot of people talking and just like general noise before you heard someone say, "Welcome to the Marjorie Alderman Rehabilitation Center. How may I help you?" before the line went dead. So that there was a lot that happened.
We did some digging via maps and figured out
where the Marjorie Alderman Rehabilitation Center was. That is the building that Maya drew on Tom's map that was not on Quinn's map. The small building that was behind the Capitol building that it was basically determined that you could probably see from some vantage points in town, but not that many, which is why it wasn't on regular maps. That or somebody's trying to cover up it exists, who knows. Let's see. I really should have tried to watch the VOD this morning.
It's okay. I talked Tom down because Tom wanted to go right away.
Yes, you did.
And I talked Tom
you all
down,
agreed to go in the morning instead.
We were going to go in the morning.
Yes, so you two sat into the wee hours of the morning
and
trying to drinking and trying to put together the sort of timeline that you've been piecing together within your room. And that is where we ended, in the wee hours of the morning.
5-foot Latina, just so you know, I am wondering what this church emergency is. I've been wondering it since we were told it. Also, I don't trust Paul at all. That also could be my religious trauma of my own life, of not trusting the priest of the town, but, you know.
It happens.
I'm a recovering Catholic. It is what it is. So I would have helped calm Tom down. Honestly, I probably would have gone outside and smoked with Tom.
Oh shit!
because
Here you go.
yeah, we learned a lot. I probably would have kept doing a little digging, probably not finding anything more than what I'd already found, but at least showing everything to Tom in detail, of kind of what was going on. We probably oh, I forgot about when you drank my good bottle of wine while I was gone. We talked about not the top shelf of the wine cellar. But I would have shown him the guest room, and he would have he was staying the night. Quinn would have 100%. She's an early riser, the exact opposite of me. So she would have. She definitely would wake up before Tom would. And she's just, that's why I'm gonna be perfectly honest, this is partly because I just didn't have the willpower to make Quinn today, but I've also morphed it into a character choice.
It happens to the best of us.
You know, well, she just learned a lot of shit about her life that she didn't know before.
Oh, also, little thing that we forgot to recap. You all had a moment where you realized, with Tom being a completely different person 7 years ago from what you saw in your memory, that it is very possible that somebody is trying to reshape Tom within a different image, especially due to the fact that Tom was not brought back correctly the last time.
Yes.
So.
We did learn that. So Quinn wakes up. Her usual routine is she gets up, she gets herself ready, she makes her coffee, she probably reads the newspaper, scrolls on her phone, all of that. Her routine is out the fucking window today. She is slightly hungover. She is still reeling about the fact that she has no recollection of this relationship she had with Tom and all of these people that she would have known, and doesn't know anything about. So she is not done up to the nines like she usually is. She is not pressed with her blazer and all of that. She just stumbles downstairs, tries to be as quiet as possible. She goes to her probably stupidly expensive coffee maker thing. She probably has one of those ones that has you can make lattes and little things all together in it, and starts making coffee. And she's scrolling through her phone, through the news, to see if anything's popped up. But what she does do is look up the rehab facility and get their number, because she's going to call to find out when visiting hours are. And she is going to wait for Tom to kind of get up, and she will have coffee waiting for him, and she's probably going to cook just to keep herself busy, because she doesn't quite know what to do. She's always been in control of everything in her life to an extent, and now she learns that there is an entire section of her life that she had taken away from her. So at this point, she's just kind of keeping herself busy until Tom wakes up.
So you look up the website for Marjorie Alderman Rehabilitation Center. It looks fairly normal. There are pictures of patients doing different activities, baking with the staff, doing arts and things like that, physical therapy, that sort of thing. You can find their number pretty easily. It's listed right there on the website. You also see that there's just a page that gives staff member names and things like that. And there are hours listed on the website of when they're open, open to the public in any sort of way, when visiting hours are for different different wards and things like that have different visiting hours, so it's not a rush of the center. But all in all, everything seems pretty legitimate.
Okay. And I will just wait on Tom.
All right, so funny story. Tom didn't sleep a lot last night.
Shocking.
Who
How
would've
the
thought?
fuck can you after learning that much about your life in just that short amount of time?
Yeah, she didn't really sleep much either, but
Yeah, he might have laid down for about maybe 2 hours, but spent most of the time out back just chain smoking, going through just everything he had on him, herbal wise, I guess you could say. Just sitting out back thinking, just a lot of thinking, because he doesn't really feel like he thinks that much anymore.
What exactly is going through Tom's head while he's thinking about all this?
Looking at my arms, realizing that these tattoos have such a deeper meaning than what he could have possibly assumed. And like he looks at the flower, looks at the moon, and looks at the eye, and is like, I must have just been a completely different fucking person. And just now I'm this. Now I'm doing this. Was this not my vibe before? Like, what's my life? Where has it gone?
You sit underneath the moonlight, on the small back porch that Quinn has. It's got a couple chairs and a small table on it, and you sit and look up at the moon and stars, and you think on this, and you are right to look at the Tom that now, puts himself out into the world, is to look at a completely different person from the Tom you used to be, according to Quinn. And the more you look at your arms, the more you realize that these tattoos may be the only true piece of you that's left. After what you all believe to be a world that has slowly deconstructed you and rebuilt you again. And so in the morning, once you decide to leave the porch or the bed for the day, what would Tom like to do?
yeah, were you?
As
did
she
you
comes
stay
down
out
to the
back,
kitchen.
or did you stay? Did you sleep out on the porch, or did you sleep up in the room? Like,
I was up way earlier before you. Yeah, I'm
I mean,
already
like,
out there
would
with.
you have like passed out? Like, if you had
I
passed
slept
out,
in.
like
I slept
it
in
would have
the
been on the
guest bed.
porch.
I slept in the guest bed,
Okay.
but woke up early because didn't sleep a lot. I already have a screwdriver outside.
So I guess I will. I probably heard him, or noticed the back door was ajar at some point. So,
or that there's alcohol missing.
Yeah, or that my vodka's out.
I'm just
which
sitting
I don't
down
ever
on
drink.
the porch.
So I've made 2 plates of breakfast, and I've made coffee, and I have like a bottle of painkillers, any type of painkillers you want, be it Tylenol, Advil, whatever it is, because I'm hungover. Tom's starting off with hair of the dog, but I'm hungover because I haven't drank that hard in a very long time. Also, we forgot. I went to dinner with Riley.
I was going to bring that up in a minute, yeah, because
I went to dinner with Riley, and Riley lied to my face, because I mentioned if he had heard from our mother in a while, because I was only on my 5th month back from my wipe, so nothing has happened in those 5 months, but I didn't know if he had heard, because he had been wiped way back, so he was further along in his acclimation.
Return to the world. Yeah,
acclimation to society, and he said that, well, he was only at 10 months, which would have been a blue pen, but his pen was purple. So Riley lied to my face. And I decided not to call him out on it. But yeah, so my brother is lying to me. So yeah, that happened too. She had a lot go down too. So I will have a tray of everything, and I'm gonna take it outside. And since the vodka is out, she's gonna make herself a Bloody Mary and take everything out on a tray and sit it on the table next to the 2 chairs.
Fantastic.
I look at the Bloody Mary and say, "Oh God, no, that's a noon drink."
And like Quinn's hair is down. She is just in like comfortable like athleisure type wear, like nothing that anyone would ever, they would probably not see her in unless she was like going for a jog or like at the gym. Like that's the only time people would see her like that, except for maybe Riley. And even then, like her hair is usually pulled up in some, I don't know, complicated fashion, but like, I mean, her hair is just down, it's in her face, it's just kind of everywhere, and she's just coming out with this tray. And she immediately takes 2 Tylenol with the Bloody Mary and then starts sipping the coffee, and sits down and just starts slowly kind of, she doesn't even really feel like eating. She just made it because she needed something to do. So she's just kind of picking at what's on the plate, and waiting to see what Tom's gonna do or say, because she's just got a lot that, right, see, you gotta get the vegetables in the morning. You know, you got the celery and the tomato juice. It's got everything in it. Bloody Marys are so good. I'm sorry. I am a Bloody Mary fan. It's the only vodka drink I drink. But she doesn't know what to do because she usually does not let people in. She keeps people at a distance, and the fact that she trusted Tom and cared for Tom enough to show him that room that no one else but her has seen has just really thrown her for a loop, and she doesn't know how to deal with that. Especially like the Tom who is in front of her right now. That would never have been a thing. So she's very off her game around him right now.
Tom just reaches over, grabs the bottle of Tylenol, just knocks a few into his screwdriver, and gives it a stir.
God.
All right.
That is definitely not what those are supposed to do. Okay.
Look at you go, Tom. While you are sitting out on the porch, would you have your phone with you?
Me?
Either one of you?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Would you?
I would probably have both on me.
Okay. While you two are sitting there, you feel your burner phone buzz.
Gotta add it to my text list. Okay, what does it say?
All it says is they're going to move her soon.
Okay.
I'm gonna text back. Are Penelope and Luna there?
Yes and no.
What ward should I visit?
you'll see when you get there.
Okay. Quinn will compose herself as much as she can, and say, okay. So I did some research on the rehab facility. Seems like a legit place. I have their hours of operation. Apparently each ward has different visitation times, but I'm not sure what ward to even start to look in. But I just, like, obviously he saw me on my burner phone. I said, they said that they're going to move her soon. I asked if Penelope and Luna were both there. They said yes and no. I asked what ward we should visit, and they said you'll see when you get there. And of course, I wipe everything.
So we should probably head that way then?
Yes, but here's the thing. If they're hiding her, there's something special. Why would she have a flower named after her? Why would there be...
Maybe she's named after a flower.
I don't know. I feel like there is something about her that is very important, at least to them. And I'm worried if we go in as just us looking around that we're going to set something off. So do we come up with a cover, or do I just go in there as a private investigator saying that you were looking for your lost sister and we just go with the truth? Do they even have her in there under that name? Like,
Exactly. I feel like we just walk in asking questions like that, it might get kind of ugly. Okay, so out of character. I have a lesson that allows me, if I like observe an area, I get I automatically get if I roll well and succeed, I automatically get an extra document.
Yes, you do.
Because I have speed reader.
Yes.
So what I'm thinking is if we go in there and you strike up a conversation with whoever's at the desk, I can maybe scan the desk, see kind of what is out there, see if we find anything, and if not, we'll come up with something when we get there.
Yeah. Like maybe I'll just try to keep her occupied at the desk and just ask her questions. Maybe I'm trying to like scope the place out. Like, maybe I need some help.
Sure. That,
maybe I need some
fucking
help. Yeah,
ask what they offer. You know what they're, what kind of things they offer, things along those lines. Like, you're just getting information about it. That could be good. I can maybe at least kind of see if I can poke around a little bit, at least visually, at the front desk, see if I can find anything, and then we can go from there. But I will bring my badge with me, and I will go in as me, but we will take we'll take a softer approach than I usually take on investigations. So let's do that. Also, just a thought. Maybe. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
What happened?
Oh no!
I'm Tom now.
Hold on. I fix it.
Wild.
I fix it.
Was trying to get through like to my stats and like just went.
Oh yeah.
Bear went the wrong way.
That's all right. Things happen.
Okay, there we go. Also, maybe, and I could be super out
Oh,
of
thanks.
my depth on this. But maybe you think about cutting back on the drugs.
Like, I just smoke weed. I just sell the other shit. Or I help other people connect to sell that shit. So I never actually like handle it. I'm like one of those like middlemen kind of things. It feels kind of parasitic, but like it pays for my fucking house, so I don't give a shit really.
But that's not who you were. That's who they've made you out to be. Just a thought.
Like of all the things that they could make me, like they fucking picked this.
Prove them wrong. Turn it around. You were doing well before.
Apparently.
So. Just.
But I guess that was back when I had family.
Well, you've still got family. We just gotta find them. Okay, so
After she says that, he looks down at his bicep where there's 2 circles with a line and 3 circles underneath where one is filled in. The rest are all just empty lines.
If you want to see what that looks like, it's on Twitter and Instagram. Feel free to go look. Shameless plug.
Shameless plug.
So you two head out and start to head towards Zelda Avenue, which is where the Marjorie Alderman Rehabilitation Center is. Is there anything that you all would like to do or discuss on your way there?
I'm definitely giving Teddy a call.
Oh, yeah, cool.
Wait, depending on what time of day.
It's definitely before noon. It's like 9 o'clock in the morning.
I'll call him at 11.
I worry that, because like the only person he ever contacts is Teddy, so like I see him kind of look at his phone like he's gonna contact someone. I'm assuming we're driving there.
Yeah.
Because I have a car.
Yeah.
And because of my paranoid pessimism, I ask Tom, are you sure Teddy is on your side?
Like, most of the time it feels like he is, but something just kind of seems off occasionally.
Do you think that maybe he was put into your life?
Like a fucking handler or something? Because, like, apparently I've known him for fucking years. Apparently he was like a father figure for a while.
Supposedly.
Yeah.
But
Like, he has taken care of me, though. Like, that I can remember, like, in the last few months. He has been there most of the time.
But 7
It's just
years
I'm not sure about
ago-
before.
7 years ago, you were a different person.
That's what I keep hearing that.
I'm just be careful who you divulge information to, because
It's too early for him anyway. So.
I mean, I know he's the noon drink guy, but just maybe be careful and don't tell him everything.
Okay.
I will have my gun on me, but I will actually be concealed carrying it, which I have a permit for.
Yes, I'm sure you do.
I don't just have like my holster on like I normally do. I'm gonna conceal carry it, and my knife in my shoe, in my boot, and
Tom leaves his gun in the car, but has his manicure set with him in case he needs to maybe pop open a locked door or something.
I have a
Terrifying.
lock picking kit as well, so we are in
Oh,
good company.
this little manicure set does a whole lot more than pick
Of
locks.
course
It gives me a whole lot of information as well.
Of course it does.
The way we've talked about it, it's terrifying.
Yes.
I will. I'll make sure that my handkerchief is on me. I'm debating whether I want to take the burner phone. Because if this goes south and we get wiped, they'll see I have a burner phone. Like, obviously there's nothing on it.
Yes.
But they'll see that I have a burner phone. But I could always dump it.
Let's try to make sure they ask as few questions as possible.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's do this. I will be me, helping out my friends who may want to partake in the facility to get clean. Just wants to look into it.
It's good that I'm walking in already buzzed.
Oh,
it's convincing.
Okay, great, cool. Okay.
It's convincing.
That's great. So we're gonna go in.
Okay. You two park
Method
the
acting.
car.
Sorry.
You're fine. You two park the car. It's like a fairly decent sized parking lot that sits in front of a building that is mostly white with blue accents on it. It has like the automatic doors. It looks very like fancy and high tech. You can see a sign that says Marjorie Alderman Rehabilitation Center, established 1947. It has obviously undergone renovations in that time because this place looks really nice. Like, it is very new.
Question.
Yes.
When I was looking at their website, did I find out who Marjorie Alderman was?
Roll me an investigation check.
I think that's a D12. Ooh, 10 on the die plus 2 is a 12.
Fantastic. Marjorie Alderman, from the small blurb you could find about her on the website, was one of the leading medical specialists in Grimsby at the time the rehabilitation center was built. She helped to develop therapy techniques and things of that nature that were first used when the rehabilitation center opened. Now, obviously, they have updated with the scientific research that has happened in the meantime, but they accredit Marjorie with a lot of the advances that were made because they started with her research.
Okay. When was it founded?
1947.
Oh, damn. Sorry.
No, you're totally fine.
I'm now keeping fastidious notes.
Which I love.
Because I've found out so much information that I will
You have.
forget because my brain is a sieve. Okay. So, what What do we see? What happens when we walk through the door?
Okay, so you two walk through the door. You can see as you're walking in that there are like badge scanning places. Not that you need them to open doors, but you have a feeling that employees would like have to swipe badges there to just like keep track of where employees are. And when they are like transporting people and things of that nature. When you walk in, there's a vast lobby in front of you. Again, all white.
How
But
populated?
not very. It's fairly empty. It's open to like the next part is sort of like a half wall behind the reception, so you can see people going in and out of rooms and things like
Mhm.
that. Back there is fairly populated. You can see
Any
people
orderlies out in the lobby right now?
not in the lobby, but there are a couple behind the half wall, just like rolling like carts around of supplies and things like that. Like you can see them trying to get organized sort of for the day because this is just now when they're opening to the public. Um, Within the lobby area itself, there is nobody besides the receptionist at the reception desk. But around the room, you can see posters of health and well-being things, like medications and like motivational quotes and things like that. They have a TV on the wall that is playing like a advert for the center, talking about the different things that they do and provide, things of that nature. There's a large wooden desk that across the front has the name of the facility. It's sort of high, so when somebody's sitting, you can't really see them. Like you can just see the very top of the head. But you can hear the clicking of keys on a keyboard. Like there are phones ringing, not necessarily in the lobby, but like behind the partition. You can hear like what might be a phone at like a nurse's station. And you just everything feels very clean and sterile and very precise.
All right, so right before
I'm
walking in, Tom rubs the hell out of his eyes to make them as red as possible and starts just like kind of like roughing himself up to make him look like he's a little strung out.
Mhm.
And he
I'm
starts kind of stumbling forward,
don't
kind of
okay,
really
don't
playing up.
oversell it. Like I'm gonna just kind of have my hand on his shoulder. To like guide him, like support him into the facility.
I lean over and I whisper to her, my plan is to get somebody else to help me, and I wink.
Okay, well I was just gonna have you ask them questions about the facility, but okay, we can. Oh God, we can do that. Okay, so if that's the case, I'm gonna let him like go, and I'm gonna immediately go straight up to the receptionist table.
Yeah.
And I am going to say, "Good morning. I'm so sorry to bother you. I'm gonna show her my badge and say, my friend here has a history of drug addiction.
I stumble over trying to sit down into a chair.
I've been
And
trying
end up pushing like a whole row.
to get him into a program here with you guys, maybe to help him. Could you speak with him, or is there someone who could speak with him? Because I mean, I know he has to voluntarily, but is there anyone who could speak with him and kind of extol the virtues of the programs you offer that might make him decide to take this route?
She looks up finally from her computer. The entire time you were talking, she was sort of transfixed on whatever she was typing. And for the first time, you can see her clearly. She's wearing a like a medical mask, but you see like a girl that's probably like in her like mid-20s ish. And she has red hair and green eyes and is wearing like she's just wearing like a very basic outfit of like jeans and like a polo top that's got the like medical center logo on it. And she goes, "Oh, hi. So sorry. I like completely zoned out. Hi, my name is Penelope. Can I help you?"
Tom stands up sober and starts walking towards the counter. Excuse me, What did you say your name was?
Hi, my name is Penelope. Can I help you?
And Tom just kind of freezes for a second. And this is the voice he's been hearing on the phone.
Yes. It is not the name, or it is not the voice. I can only do so many voices. Y'all catch me in 6 months, I'll be better. But like, it is not.
This is not the Reality Corporation voice.
It is not the
Okay.
the voice that does the recording part, but it is the voice that says the name Penelope.
Okay.
Is she wearing a name tag?
Yeah, she is.
Does it have her first and last name on it, or just her first name?
It just says Penelope.
Penelope, you look so familiar. What's your last name?
Oh, I'm Penelope Weaver.
It's really funny you say that because I'm Tom Weaver.
Oh, it's very nice to meet you. I mean, I guess Weaver's not that uncommon a last name. I have only met a couple people with it, but you know, I don't have like a very big family, so I would assume we're not related, but you never know.
Nice to meet you too.
How
And Tom starts crying a little bit.
Yeah, she's very concerned that you're like, her eyes just get a little bit big. She doesn't say anything, but like you can tell she's sort of concerned that you're crying.
you know you could be distantly related. Who are your parents? Maybe there's like a cousin relation or something. That's such a coincidence, you know?
Yeah, my parents' names are James and Jennifer Weaver. They're really cool people.
Do you have any siblings or?
My mom's an only child. I think my dad may have a brother. I'm not super sure.
Do you have siblings?
Oh no, I'm an only child.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if we ever established Tom's parents' names. Do those ring a bell?
We did not, but your parents' names are James and Jennifer.
Okay.
Oh.
It's like that's so funny that you say that those are your parents' names because those are my parents' names. But I haven't seen them in a long time apparently.
As you say that, her eyes start to gloss over a little bit, and she just goes, Hi, my name is Penelope Weaver, and I don't know what's happening, and I think I'm in trouble.
I reach across the desk and put my hand on her hand. It's the hand with the flower.
She cannot stop panicking. She's just breathing very heavily, and it attracts an orderly from behind the partition. He just sort of whips his head around and kind of signals to the other orderly that's with him.
Fuck.
I climb across the
Do we
desk.
take her and run?
I'm gonna call this a thing. I think we have now entered into Fate's assignment. So you two both roll initiative for me.
Fuck.
I will
D20?
say, yes, straight D20. Orderlies are going to go ahead and roll initiative as well. They are counted as your enemies. Penelope is counted as a neutral in this instance because she does not have a particular feeling to you all, but she definitely doesn't like the orderlies while she's conscious of what's happening. So Penelope in this case will be counted as a neutral. So you can choose to get ahead of her if you would like, but you certainly do not have to. So orderlies.
I rolled a 4 and I'm trying to act as fast as possible.
I rolled a 12.
Okay, well, orderlies got an 11. Penelope got a 6. So, Tom, the only way you are going to be able to go first is you said you got a 4.
Yes.
Is if you can get a plus 8 to anything.
The most I could do is a sneak with a +5.
Yeah, I was about to say, I don't think you can beat it in
But
any
that
way.
would at least put you ahead of her.
It would put you ahead of Penelope.
And I'm ahead of the orderlies.
Yeah. So if you would like to be ahead of Penelope, please explain to me why you would like to use sneak in order to be ahead of Penelope.
It would be hard to sneak if I'm trying to jump across the desk
It
at
would
this
be.
moment. Like, it seems like it would be counterproductive to try to use that stat, because I wouldn't be using that stat.
I mean, you could use it
Like-
to try and sneak her out.
But I'd have to, like, grab her from across the desk and pull her over this giant thing.
I'm sure
Like,
there's a
I'm
way
trying to actively climb
around
up it.
the desk. It's just like the bar at Bella's. Like, I'm sure there's a way around it.
It's up to you. If you want to use it and you want to justify it, that's fine. If you would rather not, that is also fine. Just
But it
the
doesn't
only
really
difference is whether
make a
Penelope goes in
difference.
front of you or behind you.
I'll have to. Could I possibly add my deceit because I'm trying to act so?
If you would like to, yeah, that's fine.
That's a +3.
Okay, yeah. So, explain to me exactly what lie you are planning to tell, or
I'm
what lie
about to
you're
start
trying to
acting
convince people of.
erratically. Like they need to focus on me and not her.
Okay.
Nice.
I will let you go ahead of her for that, but I am going to make you roll for it when it gets to your turn. But because you are attempting that, I will let you go ahead of Penelope. Okay, so we are starting at the top of the order with Quinn. You all have 3 rounds
Oh,
to
fuck
accomplish
me.
whatever you
gotta
want to
be
do.
Fucking kidding me.
3
Okay.
rounds is plenty of time.
Is it?
You have movement and action and a bonus action for every round.
Okay.
You're not that far away from the entrance. Like you could make it to the entrance in one movement.
Okay, so what's like the setup with the desk here? Like, is it a desk I could literally just walk around the edge of the desk? Or is
Yeah,
it, like...
so the way that this is it's a very open style lobby. Like I said, there's the partition behind it, but you can see like not super far in like into the facility, but you can see the first like few sets of doors across from each other and some orderlies and things like that. The lobby itself is set up in a large rectangle with the desk is in the middle, and it's one of those like rounded ones, like the half circle desks,
Okay.
if you will.
So I can get to the other side of the
Yeah,
desk.
you can literally
Okay.
just walk around it.
Cool. Okay. Oh god. Oh fuck. Do I chance it? Okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna flash my badge as I'm walking. I'm gonna be like, don't worry, I am very familiar with anxiety. She seems to just be having a panic attack. And like as I'm walking to her, I was like, I'm gonna take her outside so she can get some air. You know, she just will breathe and hopefully the fresh air will calm her down. So I'm going to go to her. Can I get to her?
Yeah, in
my movement?
a movement you can get to her. That's fine.
Okay. My action would be grabbing her, wouldn't it?
Yes.
Fuck. And my bonus action can't be like a move, can it?
I'll let you take half of your movement as a bonus action.
Okay, so I will help support her up. While telling her it's okay, breathe in, breathe out, and slowly take half of my movement to try and get her at least part of the way around the desk.
Okay, you do that. That is totally fine. Penelope is still breathing very erratically. And she just keeps going, my name is Penelope Weaver, my name is Penelope Weaver, my name is Penelope Weaver, my name is Penelope Weaver. And she's shaking horribly. She's losing color in her face rapidly. All of a sudden, the bags under her eyes get extremely dark, and she is looking around the room like she has no idea where she is. With that is your turn. And next are the orderlies. So there are 2 orderlies that are currently on your tail. I am going to say that the 2 of them are going to move to try to cross the partition.
Can I use a spark real fast?
To do what?
Can I retcon that I parked like outside the door, like we just pulled up and parked, like if I were dropping someone off?
Yeah, I'll let you spend a spark for that.
Okay.
Okay, so they are moving toward the partition. One is going to use his action to call on their like walkie system, essentially, to call for other orderlies to come to the front that there's been an emergency. The other is going to approach you and say, "No, ma'am, Penelope is to stay within the facility. It's perfectly fine. She has these sometimes. We can just take her back to her room."
I think if we just stood outside for a minute and did some breathing exercises, I suffer from really severe anxiety. I understand, if we just take a step outside, some sunshine, some fresh air, we do some breathing exercises, I think it'll really calm her down. I'm going to flash my badge again and be like, and I'm also going to tell you that I am in control of this situation. Thank you very much.
Ma'am, I respect your authority, but in this facility, I outrank you, and Penelope is a patient. She will need to stay within the facility, and he is going to try to grab for her, like reaching across the partition.
Is it bad that I just would immediately be like, and I pull out my gun?
I mean, look, these things happen. So he is able to grab her arm. So now you two both have a hold of Penelope. With that, I don't think either. Actually, the guy that called for help is going to take his bonus action to do an additional half movement, so he can get a little bit past the partition, and then that is it for. Actually, no, I lied.
Wait, how did the other guy get all the way?
The guy used both people used their movement to get to the partition.
Okay.
The one used his action to call for other orderlies. The other used his action to grab Penelope.
I had already gotten her back around the desk, though.
Well, he's like reaching across the partition, like leaning over the partition, essentially. Like it's a very loose grip on her arm. This is not like he's going to have to like heave himself back down to the ground.
Okay.
He essentially tried to jump it and grab her, which he wasn't successful in. He couldn't jump over the whole thing, but he was able to go far enough to grab her onto her arm.
Okay.
The band that called for help, though, will use his bonus action to do half movement to get around the partition. The other guy's really not in a place to be able to do that.
Okay.
So that is the orderlies. Now, Tom, you are able to go.
All right, so one of them has entered the lobby, basically.
Yes, one of them is now in the lobby with you two, but like not close enough to Quinn and Penelope to do much. The other one is like half of his body is over the partition, and his arm or his hand is wrapped around like the lower part of Penelope's arm.
So I can fully reach that arm.
Yeah, if you'd like to do your movement to get like sort of around the desk area, then yeah.
Yes, I go around the desk and I pull out from my small manicure set the little scissors I have, and I just get them right in here as hard as I can, and give it a twist to try to get him to let go of my fucking sister.
Fantastic. Roll for me just to see if that. I'd like to see if that connects, but I feel like it does connect. Like, okay, so here's what we're gonna do. It absolutely connects because these are scissors and you're stabbing a man. But what I would like to see is how much pain this causes him.
Because that's what I always intend to do with these.
Yeah, so roll. I didn't give you stats for this set, did I? I don't think I did. Didn't think so. Roll a. Just roll you know what, we're gonna just turn this into luck instead of damage. Roll a d6 for me. Upper half is he lets go of Penelope's arm, lower half is he does not.
That's a 5.
Okay, so the man yelps and he's very shocked by what's just happened. You can see blood sort of start to trickle down his arm and onto the floor, and he snatches his arm back and lets go of Penelope.
Before he reels back across the partition, am I able to maybe snatch his badge or key card?
Give me trickery.
Trickery. Okay, it's a D12 plus 2.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay, that's a 6 on the die plus 2, 8.
A 6 on the die plus what?
Plus 2, so 8.
And you roll a d12 for that?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that'll work then.
Okay.
Go ahead and you can add that to your sheet. You now have a key card for the rehabilitation center. It is got a blue stripe on it, and it has his picture.
Shit.
And just for shits and giggles, how close to do I look like to him?
Not very. You, this man has like blonde hair, and it's like spiky, you know what I mean? Like it's very straight up. And he's got gray eyes. He's like very muscularly built, no tattoos at all.
Is his
and
name on it?
It does not have his name on it, but he's wearing blue scrubs in the picture, and he's wearing blue scrubs now.
Okay.
I tuck that in my pocket as I just keep, like, just get him to let go of my sister.
Okay, so he
And I-
definitely lets go. I'm assuming that is the end of your turn because you used movement and action and a bonus action.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So it is back around to Quinn. Or no, sorry, it is Penelope's turn. Penelope is very panicked. As like I said before, she keeps looking around like she has no idea where she is. And after a minute of you like holding on to her, her breathing starts to settle a little bit, and she goes, and her eyes gloss back over, and she kind of starts to go over a little bit, but then looks up and goes, "Hi, my name is Penelope Weaver. How may I help you?" And then just looks around and goes, "Why are you holding on to me?" And with this sudden realization of, you know, where she is and how everything is going, she's going to try to get out of your grasp because she just thinks you're a stranger holding on to her.
Can I respond?
You absolutely can respond.
Okay.
She can't get out of your grip anyway. She rolled a 3.
Okay, well, good. I was be like, you were having a panic attack. I was trying to help you. I was gonna help you go outside, get some air, just help you calm down a bit.
Oh, well that makes sense. Thank you so much for that. I don't really go outside though. Like not while I'm working, obviously, because I have things to do. I've got to be at my desk. I'm transferring files at the moment, so if you could just kindly let go of me, I'll go back to that. But thank you for helping me with the panic attack.
Sure.
I don't even remember having it, but
Here's the thing. This do I just throw it at her?
you do what you
Do
think
I
you
just
want to
drop
do in
that
this
bomb
moment.
on her?
I would like to remind you all, this is the end of round 1.
I know.
So you all do what you think you need to do.
Okay. Okay. I'm so worried I'm gonna fuck shit up. I am going to, because I have my badge in my hand, I'm gonna show her my badge. It doesn't have my name. Like, I make sure she doesn't see the name, but she sees, like, the badge.
Okay.
And I'm gonna say, hi. I am a private detective. I was actually hired by Tom here. He is your brother, and he has been trying to check you out of the facility. We've been trying to find you, and he's here to check you out of the facility to take you home.
I don't have a brother. And I'm also like, you only check in and check out if you're a patient, and I work here. But like, thank you for your concern. I hope you find your sister. But I'm definitely not your sister.
I'm going to try and get her out the fucking door.
Okay. So this will be the start of your turn. You'll have to use your movement and your action to try to get her out because you're like physically moving, but you're also pushing her or dragging her, whatever you'd like to do for
I've
that.
been thinking about this all day, and it's not going at all like I thought it was gonna go. I have been thinking of so many plans of how to get someone out of a facility, and at
Expect the unexpected.
at no point did I think, oh, they work here. Okay. Finesse is not my strong suit. Nor is athletics. What?
I can really make up those though.
What about persuasion?
If you would like to try to persuade her to walk out the door by herself, or to go with you, like willingly, that's fine. It will be opposed.
Okay. All right. This might work better. Okay. Should I use my other spark? Should I use it?
For what?
To have a copy of the picture of the three of them?
Oh yeah, you definitely need to spend a spark for that.
I
for
know.
sure.
Should I use it?
That's up to you. I am not here to coach you either way on that.
Fuck, I'm gonna hate this later, but I'm gonna fucking use it.
Okay. So yes, you absolutely do have a picture of the three of them.
Okay, so I'm gonna pull out the picture, which is obviously her,
Yes.
and Tom, and Luna,
Yes.
and say, you may be a bit confused. I understand, and I do understand this is your job, but I do have the authority to help you, get out of this. You're not breaking any rules. I'm going to show her the picture and say, we have been looking for you. Tom has been looking for you.
And your sister.
He is your brother, and we're also looking for your other sister. So if you would just come with me, we can go dig into this further, and we can hopefully find out some information.
Okay, so you roll persuasion on that.
Okay.
What do you roll on that?
A D10, and I have a +2.
Okay.
Motherfucker. I rolled a 7 + 2 is a 9.
Okay. I'm gonna you tied, so I'm gonna let you roll again.
I rolled a 9 + 2, which is an 11.
Okay. Okay, so she looks at you and goes, oh, okay. And she takes the picture out of your hand and starts to look at it. And let's see. She sort of freezes in place, just sort of looking at the picture, and you see her eyes gloss over again, and then she goes, Luna and Tom, Luna, and it's almost like she broke. Her brain just like her eyes just get big, and it's almost like she broke. Like she just keeps saying Luna, and then every once in a while says Tom, but then goes immediately back to saying Luna over and over and over again.
Tom just straight up grabs her and says, Tom's here.
She stops
Tom's
speaking, and looks up to meet your eyes, and just nods.
Hope you're okay, Penelope. We're gonna find her.
They already got her. They already
Here?
got her. It's too late. They already got her.
But it's not too late for you. It's not. Let's get out of here.
I'm gonna help kind of start to guide her toward the door with my bonus action will be the last half movement
To the door. Okay.
to the door.
So what happens is you get her a few more steps, and then her eyes go again, and she goes, "Hi, my name is Penelope. How may I help you?"
I full on grab her and run through the door.
You do that. We've sort of gone out of initiative order, but I like how this is going, so we're gonna keep it. the orderly sprint after you. They
I've
are
already got the car unlocked.
okay. I'm gonna roll to see how successful the orderlies are in catching up to you, since we've like I said, we've abandoned initiative order, so we're just gonna
Fuck it.
screw it. My game, my rules. I do what I want.
And hey, I did mess up a bunch of the chairs walking in because I was stumbling, so that
You
might give them some
did.
obstacles.
You put some obstacles in the way.
I am going to roll separately for each orderly, just because I would like to see what they can do.
Oh, fuck.
They both rolled well. They rolled an 18 and a 15. They are going to. The one gets all the way to the door, but he trips over a chair that Tom pushed aside, and falls to the ground. The second is able to get all the way to catch up with you at the car, but you all manage to shove Penelope in the back seat, and just sort of slide in Dukes of Hazzard style across the hood, and get in your car. And
That was me. That was me sliding
yes, it
across
was.
the room.
It was absolutely
Out of
in
the
my
car.
brain. 100%. You slide across the car. And you open the door.
I'm bougie.
unlock
It's got a
everything.
remote start. We're ready to go.
Heck yeah, it does. And you peel off. With the orderly shrinking in the background of your rearview mirror.
Where do,
Yeah, you got out.
where do we go? Where do we go? We can't go to my house. We can't go to your
Just
house.
drive.
Where do we go?
Just drive.
Where do we go?
Just drive. Please.
Drive where? I mean, like I'm driving, but like drive where? We have to stop at some point. We can't get out of Grimsby. Are we just gonna drive in circles around Grimsby? If any of them caught my name or caught my license plate, Riley is gonna be right on my ass.
Tom pulls out his map and starts looking for like alleyways behind like our places, like the places we could possibly like kind of sneak through if we can.
Okay, what if we take the car back to my house and then we move, like on foot, and we go?
Okay, that's a good plan.
Okay. So the plan. There went my dice. We are not picking it up off the floor. We're picking a different one.
So you all start to move. By the time you get to Quinn's house, it's not. You've seen a couple police cars go by, but nobody stops. Nobody stopped at Quinn's house. You don't see anybody specific that you even know on the force. But police cruisers are around.
Sure.
You all abandon the car, get out to grab Penelope. Is there anything else that you try to grab before you try to go somewhere?
I grab my gun out of her car.
Okay.
I've just got my typical stuff on me.
Okay.
I don't. No, because I've got everything in my head.
I just have the map out and I'm planning a path through the alleyways to get to my house.
We can't go to your house. They're gonna know. We can't go to your house. What about like the park? What that weird park that we ended up in?
Does that seem too open though?
What about by the welcome sign? Like, could we? No one's ever by that welcome sign.
Maybe, yeah.
Do you all want to head to the welcome sign?
I'm trying to think. Like, is there an abandoned area of town? Oh, the toy store. The toy store.
Where's the toy store?
Let's go to the toy store and we'll go in the back door.
Yeah, sure. So you all head out towards the toy store. The entire time, Penelope is just like shaking and crying, and she does that for a couple minutes, and then goes back to like very happy Penelope, and then goes back to shaking and crying.
I am gonna put a jacket over her, like that has a hood on it.
Okay.
So that it just looks like she's walking with us.
Okay.
No one can like see her reactions.
My hair is pulled up into a beanie so people can't tell it's me walking around from my hair.
Okay.
And I have my arm tucked around her.
So there are definitely people around on your walk, but none of them seem to take a super big notice to you all. People are polite. They like wave from across the street or whatever. But nobody is coming up or questioning anything at all. You all make it to the toy store just fine. You go back. The back door is still unlocked. And you walk into the storage basement where you first saw Jeffrey Kahn stacking boxes.
I'm gonna immediately lock the door, and I'm gonna go to the front of the store, and I'm gonna lock that door as well.
Okay, you go through to the front of the store. You can see off to the room, the side of the room that you all had fought the toys in. And you go ahead and lock the door, and that's totally fine.
Okay, and then I'm gonna come back.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm sure you've probably sat her down by now. So I'm going to get on her level, and I'm gonna be like, what do you mean about Luna, that she's already gone? What do you mean?
She sits on the ground, and is sort of just like rocking back and forth. Her knees are hugged to her chest. And she is sort of just staring at one spot on the ground. There's nothing there in particular, but it just seems like her eyes can't focus anywhere else. And she goes, they got her, like they got they got me. It's dark and it's cold, and we sleep on metal all the time. I don't know. I haven't seen her in a really long time.
Is she in the facility?
I don't know where we go when we're there. I don't know if it's there. I don't know if it's someplace else. They make sure you're asleep when you travel, so they can't. They gotta make sure that you don't know where you're going. But it's cold and it's dark. And it's never long to sleep because I'm always still tired when I wake back up. They've got her, and I don't know what to do.
We're gonna get her out, just like we got you out. We're gonna find her.
You didn't get me out. You're not
For
out.
now. For now.
They're gonna find me, and they're gonna find you, and you gotta take me back.
Well, until then, you're safe with us.
Okay.
Just please tell me what you know.
Like I said, it's really dark and really cold. I go to sleep and then I wake up there, and then like a bunch of people just talk for a really long time, and it's never to me. It's like usually to other people, but like I can hear them, and they talk about a bunch of different stuff, but it's like hard to make out the words sometimes, and then eventually they come over and they give me the medicine, and then I go back to sleep, and then I wake up at the front desk, and I do my job, and then I go to sleep again, and then they just do it again, every day, every single day.
Do you remember what happened to get you to that facility? Do you remember anything before?
I sort of remember Tom, and I sort of remember Luna, I remember being in school and like having friends and stuff, but then something happened. It happened one day after school. I went out to go to my car, but I didn't make it there. I don't remember what happened to not get me there, but I didn't make it to my car that day.
But you actually remember me?
A little bit, not a lot. I know that you're my brother. Um, I I think I only know that because I heard people talking about it once. Um, but I know I have a brother named Tom and a sister named Luna. Because one day the people in the suits came and that's what they talked about that day.
I am gonna step out of the room and I'm gonna call Maya.
Okay. After a few rings, she picks up. Hey, what's up?
You need to come to the toy store right now and come to the back door.
Oh, okay. Is everything
Don't tell
cool?
anyone where you're going. Just come here right now and try and get here without being by being as inconspicuous as possible.
Yeah, sure. Give me 10 and I'll be there.
Okay. And then I hang up.
She hangs up. You all kind of sit for about 10 minutes.
I'm just
Pen-
gonna stand back by the door and wait for Maya to get there.
yeah, Penelope just keeps sort of babbling. Just like the same information over and over, almost like she can't remember that she's already given you the information. She just kind of keeps looping, and she
I'm just rubbing the back of her head, trying to comfort her, trying to make this like as easy as it can be for her to try to recollect things.
yeah, she mostly just keeps talking about the place that's cold and dark where they sleep on metal. And every
Tonight you're
once in a
sleeping in a
while,
bed. Tonight you have sheets. Tonight you have a mattress. You have a pillow. Tonight you're going to be comfortable.
every like once in a while she brings up the people in suits again, but she never expands on that. She always just says the people in suits.
Doesn't like describe a suit or just as like.
Mm-mm. Nope, just says people in suits.
Okay, so I will leave the door long enough to go tell Tom that I called Maya. And I will get in front of Penelope and just kind of like hold her face like gently, but so she's looking at me, and say, "Have any of the men in suits, do they look like me?"
I don't think so. Sometimes they wear masks and stuff. Um, at least the ones that I've seen, but I hear more people than I can see. Because I can't get up from the metal. I'm not allowed. But I don't think anybody looks like you.
Okay. And then I'm gonna go back to the door. Wait for Maya.
Yeah, at that moment you hear just a knock.
So I'm gonna let Maya in and then lock the door. And I'm gonna just kind of gesture toward the room that Tom and Penelope are in.
Okay, so you watch as Maya sort of slowly walks. She doesn't look scared, but she looks just very unsure of her next movement. So she's very careful in where she steps. But she's sort of looking around and peeks into this room. And she doesn't do it very openly, but you sort of hear a sob. And Tom, you seeing the front of her, can just see like a couple of tears fall. And she
I try
gently
to
goes,
I try to stand Penelope up so that she can walk over to her.
yeah. Penelope sort of stumbles. She looks weak. The more she is remembering and the more that she is lucid about the world around her, the weaker she looks. So she sort of stumbles a little bit, but Maya catches her. And Maya helps Penelope sit back down on the ground and sits with her and goes, Penelope, do you remember me? And Penelope looks, and then all of a sudden realization hits, and she goes, we went to school together. We were friends in school. We were friends in school. Me and you, and you would come to the house, and you would see Luna, and you would see Tom, and you were my friend. Um, what is your name? And Maya goes, my name is Maya, and she goes, no, it's not. And Maya insists, my name is my name. No, my name is Maya. I'm Maya Changeland. We went to school together. We were really good friends. And Penelope just keeps shaking her head, like violently shaking her head back and forth, going, no, no, you're not. Your name is not Maya. You are not Maya. And she
Penelope, who is she then? Who do you think she is then?
your name is Allison. And we're going to take a break right there.
Okay.
Ooh, cliffhangers.
We'll be right back.
Yeah, we'll be right back. Woo!
Oh no, my break page. Okay.
Oh no! We broke it.
We'll just. Oh no, hold on. Let me fix it.
We broke all of it.
We broke it.
We're going to take a very quick break. We'll be back in just a few minutes. And then we'll figure out why Penelope thinks Maya's name is Allison.
Sorry, let me see if I can. Will you do it, please?
Anything can happen on a live show.
Why won't it work? Why won't it work?
We're great at this.
I don't. Why won't it? Son of a bitch. This is why I should never be allowed to, like,
You're doing great. I believe in you.
be in charge of a stream. Okay, it's not gonna flash back and forth, but
Okay. That's fine.
it'll work. Hold on. I gotta resize it. Ah.
For anybody watching the YouTube or the VOD, feel free to skip ahead.
Yeah, feel free to skip
Yeah.
ahead.
For those of you that are watching live, sorry.
We will be right
Feel
back.
free to watch these ads.
So, give
Unless
us-
you subscribe, so subscribe.
Give us just a minute. We'll be back.
we're back. So right before the break, Penelope called Maya Allison and insisted that Allison was Maya's name. As these two sit in the floor with you two observing them, Maya just slowly shakes her head, and says, "My mother's name is Allison. I'm not Allison." And she pulls out her phone and pulls up the same picture that you saw of Maya and her mother and shows it to Penelope and says, "This is Allison, right?" And Penelope looks at it and just slowly nods and then looks back up at Maya and goes, I think I think I learned something wrong." She just sits there and looks very confused, but keeps studying the picture of Maya and her mother.
And present day Maya looks like pretty similar to her mom in the picture.
Facial features wise looks similar. Like pale. They have like the same nose and the same eyes for sure. But Maya's hair is like longer, has like the blue streaks in the front. She's like dressed very artsy. Her mother, on the other hand, has short blonde hair. And is dressed very professionally in the photo, at least. Button-up shirt, blazer, pearls like tucked under the collar. But facial features wise, you can definitely see a resemblance.
I don't know what to do. Okay. I should go. I should go.
Go where?
I should go home? Or go to Bella's and get coffee? I don't know what to do, because there's a part of me that's like, well, I can use Tom as a scapegoat because I can always refill you in on all of the information, right? So like, if I could be like, oh no, he held me at gunpoint and made me drive him to the facility, you know, like, I can always...
But do you think they try to wipe you too?
I know, that's what I'm thinking, is that they would try and wipe me too, but... Fuck.
Just a reminder, there is a mechanic within Memory Lane that uses your character stat. Now, character is used traditionally in the same way that Constitution is within the style of D&D, where it helps determine how much you can take, but it is also used in a different way. If you have a almost moral conundrum of a sort, you may use that dice. You can roll it, and the higher the number you get, the more information as a GM I give you on the situation to sort of help you morally choose what you should do. If you would like to use that, you absolutely may, but you do not have to.
I'm just
Tom's
thinking...
playing with his phone in his pocket, and he wants, like, something in him wants to reach out to Teddy, but something else, like, feels like this just shouldn't leave the people who are in this room right now.
Maya, could
But
you...
he's just fidgeting with his phone.
Could she stay with you? Could they go with you?
Yeah.
She sort of pauses for a minute and says, I mean, she can. I live with people.
Oh, okay, so that's a no.
I mean, they may not mind though, and like I guess I could
That's
try
an-
to sneak her in.
It's involving too many people. I mean, we can't take her back to my house, and we can't take her to your house. You're more recognizable than I am.
Now, we haven't heard from fucking Calvin in a while, so I guess his place is out of the question.
What, I'm gonna have to roll my d10 because I don't know what to do.
I'm gonna roll my d6. That's a 5.
I rolled a 10.
Well, fantastic.
I like that.
So, what I can give you all about the situation and sort of help you think through this. Of the 4 of you in this room, Penelope clearly does not have a place that she calls home other than the dark, cold place where she sleeps on metal. Maya lives with at least one other individual, maybe more. You obviously do not know. So you can, if you're willing to take that risk, that is an option. Obviously, the 2 of you have reason to believe that you're being tagged or like being flagged to be chased down by tag teamers. But again, you can't be super sure of anything. You would know from things around town that there are other abandoned buildings, but there is no way to know exactly how well those would work out without checking them out. And you all don't have a ton of contacts in the area. What you do have is of apartments in different buildings around town that are for living situations. You also have places like Bella's that like Bella's would have just reopened today. You would know in this situation in particular, because you got a 10, you would know that in this situation in particular, your only real choices are either to run to a brand new place or to try to wait out whoever would be waiting at one of your all's places, or to use Maya's. Or I will even give you this option because you got a 10, which is the best you could have scored on this. You could try to use Calvin's place in the meantime, because there is no reason for them to believe Calvin is in on anything. And you know the place is empty because Calvin has been called away to the church.
Do you think you could get her to Calvin's?
Are you talking to Maya?
No, to Tom.
Oh, okay.
I look down at my map and I say, I think I have a pretty good path there. And I'm looking through like alleyways and shit.
Okay. How about the 2 of you, Maya, if you want to, get her to Calvin's and hunker down at Calvin's. I'm gonna go to Bella's and get some coffee and read like I normally do. And
If you see Teddy, you haven't seen me.
of course. And keep your phone on you. I've got my burner, so I may text you from the burner phone. So if you get a text from a number, I'll let you know. I'll let you know it's me.
Okay.
And I will see if tag teamers come for me.
Okay. Since we were taking 2 different paths, Maya will agree to go with Tom to transport Penelope to Calvin's house. Quinn, you go ahead and set out, and we are going to follow Quinn first.
Tom gives her, like, brings her in for a very, I wouldn't say there's a lot of force in the hug, but it's like a very strong embrace. and it just says, "Please be safe."
I'm gonna try my best. So she's still in athleisure wear. So I'm going to pull like my hair up in like a messy bun and put my headphones in, and I'm going to go for a jog to Bella's.
Okay.
And I'll go in populated areas like my typical jogging route would be, and then just stop in to Bella's with my book and grab a coffee or a smoothie or something. So it just looks like I'm kind of doing my daily routine.
Okay, cool. So you go ahead and you go on that jog. You see some of the normal people that you see along this route, but not nearly as many. Maybe because it's like a later in the day jog for you as opposed to when other things would be happening, because it's now like 11:30. But you jog along just fine. There are no real interruptions or anything like that. And when you happen to get to Bella's, you swing the door right open. You hear the little bell chime, and you see a few of her like high school age employees behind the counter, whipping up coffee and things like that. But there's definitely no Bella in sight.
I'm just gonna go up to the counter. Do any of them recognize me?
At first, the couple that make eye contact with you seem to not know you, but then a girl that is in the middle of making coffee turns around and spots you and just smiles.
Okay. Hey, I'm not gonna do coffee today. I just came from a run. Could I have like a juice or a smoothie or something along those lines?
Yeah, totally. Power smoothie coming right up.
Thank you. I'm just gonna go sit over there and read my book for a little bit.
Yeah, cool. I'll bring it over.
All right.
And you hear the blender start to go as you walk away. And you can feel free to sit and read. After a few minutes, that same girl brings over that smoothie. She's got like brown hair. It's like pulled up in a little top knot situation. And then she's got on a white t-shirt and a blue Bella's Brews apron.
I am going to be... This is gonna be risky, but I'm gonna fucking do it. Because if I can take the heat off them, I'm gonna do it. I'm going to text Riley and say, hey, just got done with the jog and grabbed a smoothie at Bella's. Do you need me to grab you anything and bring it over to the precinct?
You wait a couple minutes. At first there is no reply, but after like 5-ish minutes, he texts back, no thanks. Super big case at work. Nothing you need to worry about, but it's just got me and the guys swamped. I'll take a brain check on the coffee though.
And I'll text back anything I can help with.
It takes a few minutes again. But he eventually writes back, no, we got it. Just something that they needed at the Capitol building. Not a huge deal. I will text you later tonight.
Okay. Okay. So I'm gonna text Tom from my phone, my regular phone. And I'm gonna start the text with, after you read these, delete them. And I'm going to text him, actually no, I'll text it from my burner phone. After you read these, delete it. Something's going on at the Capitol building. I wonder if it has to do with Penelope missing. so far, things seem clear, but I would stay at Calvin's for now.
Okay, so Tom, you get that text message.
And I'm just gonna say, don't reply.
Okay. Is there anything else that you would like to do in the coffee shop?
I will stay for about an hour.
Okay.
Because I figure if anyone's coming for me, they would have found me within an hour because I made sure that I made myself visible. I even told my brother where I was. Like, I made it well known where I am. And no one has come for me. So after about an hour, I'm going to just kind of wave at the employees, put my book back in my bag, and I'm going to put my headphones back in, and I'm going to jog home.
Okay. You go ahead and do that. The whole hour is pretty uneventful. That same girl comes up and checks on you just a couple of times just to see if you need anything else. If you'd like a refill on your smoothie, things like that. But overall, the whole hour is just fine. At the end of the hour, you jog back to your house, and find absolutely nothing out of the ordinary. Everything is exactly how you left it.
5 for Latina, I think so too. I know that lying liar was lying again. I know he was.
I mean, these things happen. But because of that, you're of everything being just fun and dandy and okay, we're going to flash back over to Tom the previous hour.
Before we do that,
yes.
When I get home, I wipe everything down. Make sure there's no cigarette butts left around. I clean the house. I wash the sheets, everything. So it's, again, my paranoia pessimum is just like clean shit. And then she will pop in her room and she will jot some notes down about Penelope and all of that, and then you can go to Tom.
Yeah, that's perfect. So Tom, we flashed to you and Maya and Penelope. You all are walking through the streets from the toy store to Calvin's house, which is thankfully not very far.
And trying to stick to alleys when we can, and I have my arm up around her with her hood over, so her face is blocked from the sides. You have to be like right in front of her if you were to actually see her face.
Yeah, Maya sort of takes your signal to be on the other side of her, just to keep Penelope in the middle of you all.
Mm-hmm.
You all walk along, and eventually, you're not too far from Calvin's. Maybe another 2 minutes, when you hear a phone ringing.
It's one of those fucking booths.
It is.
Tom isn't sure if he can handle one of those right now, so he looks to Maya to answer it.
She just nods. She goes into the phone booth, picks up the receiver, and you can't hear what she's saying, but you can tell that she says yes at one point. She stands for a minute and just sort of listens. And she looks almost shocked, like her jaw slacks a bit, and she shakily hangs up the phone and comes back out. And just she goes back to Penelope's side and pulls along with Penelope to kind of signal you all to keep walking.
What made you react like that?
Somebody knows something. It was the message started out the same as the ones you all get about the Reality Corporation, but instead of a message from Penelope, it was a message on behalf of Penelope.
Right.
And it was voices. No, I didn't recognize any of them, but they were talking about Penelope and how she got out and how they had to get her back somehow. It didn't say specifics. It just said they needed Penelope back. Penelope starts to shake again, like hearing this. and sort of starts to almost rock as she walks, like rock herself as she keeps going forward. And you hear her start to mutter under her breath again about the dark and cold room where she sleeps on metal, and how she doesn't want to go back, but she knows she has to go back.
I have my arm around her and I'm rubbing her other shoulder. I'm just like, we're gonna take you to a nice, warm, safe bed. And I just keep saying that over and over, like it's almost like a mantra, talking about this bed that I'm about to bring her to. And she's gonna be safe and comfortable for once.
Yeah, so you all keep walking. You're able to get to Calvin's fine. Obviously the door is locked, but you have a feeling that Calvin is probably one that keeps a spare key around if you would like to try to look for it, or you can fashion your own.
I just go straight for my manicure set.
Fantastic. Roll for me to see if that is going to pick a lock successfully. Let's go with a D6.
D6? Okay.
Yeah, this is just a neighborhood common lock. Like Calvin wasn't super big on security.
Alright, it's just a 4.
Okay, yeah, that'll work. So after a few minutes, you're able to get the door open. Everybody stumbles in. Maya is still supporting Penelope. She seems weaker by the minute.
And we didn't go through the front door, right?
No. If you would like, you can have gone through the back door. That is totally fine. So you all stumble into the back door and into a kitchen. And Maya gets Maya just sort of tries to keep leading Penelope. She's trying to find a room for her to lay down in. You have not been in Calvin's house before, but it is thankfully a very simple layout. You've got the kitchen. Right off to that is a small hallway. And she sort of wanders down that and seems to find a bathroom and a bedroom. The bedroom that she finds is very well put together. It's very clean. If you would open the drawers, you wouldn't find clothes in them, which sort of leads you to believe that this must be a guest room.
Yeah. I lay her down in there because I know that clean sheets.
Yeah. She is still shaking like a leaf, but Maya helps you pull back the covers and stuff and sort of get her into bed, and pull the covers back up. Penelope seems to relax for the first time since the facility.
I go to the kitchen and try to make her some tea.
Yeah, so you
Normal
can absolutely do that.
tea.
Yes, normal tea.
Normal tea. Because I smoked all my shit.
Good. So you bring her tea. She takes very large gulps of it. She drinks it so quickly that the tea is gone in seconds, and you almost feel like it looks like she's dehydrated or something like that. She just seemed like she hadn't drank anything in days.
I go and grab her water. I check through the fridge to see if I can start fixing her something, because Big Brother mode kicks in. I'm just trying to fucking take care of my sister right now.
Yeah,
that's all that Tom cares about.
No, completely.
That's all that's on his mind.
Which is so sweet. You make food for Maya, get her something else to drink, and they Maya is sitting with Penelope, sitting on the edge of the bed while Penelope sort of rocks and takes sips of water and bites of food. And you three sit there in silence for a bit before your phone buzzes. You get the messages from Quinn, and after you sit there and read them, a moment after you've put your phone away, Penelope, still shaking, puts everything back down and goes, I think I know what I learned wrong. I think I wasn't supposed to call you Allison. I was supposed to call Allison if I saw you. And that is where we're going to end tonight. We're going to end early. Not as heavy as last week.
I What? What? I was supposed to call Allison if I saw you.
I am most upset that they made her work reception. Oh, bless you,
Right?
You're wonderful.
God! They like robotically programmed her to be a fucking receptionist. I've worked at a fucking reception desk. It's awful.
But yes, what you were saying beforehand, the final line was, I was not supposed to call you, Allison. I was supposed to call Allison if I saw you.
We don't know what Maya's relationship with her mother is.
And Tom wouldn't know either.
Yeah, fuck. I wonder if Allison's a villain. I have so many thoughts right now. I don't even know. I don't even know.
I guess we'll find out next week.
We'll find out next week. So while everybody's gathering their brain cells back, because I destroyed them. So next week we will be back with Everyone's Forgotten. It will be episode 5, which officially is going to mark the halfway point in this campaign.
Crazy, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We're crazy that we're already almost halfway through.
We're about halfway done.
Yeah, we're almost halfway done, which is wild. So that will be halfway through this. This week, Boy Problems is tomorrow at 9 p.m. on Ladies of D&D. I will be over there. 10 p.m. on Wednesday, EST is the Creators Journey panel, which I will also be on. Thursday, we'll be back right here for Descent into Avernus. I believe we are actually moving that up to 8:30.
Yeah,
My tweet this morning was a lie. I'm so sorry. We're gonna try to move that up. And then next Monday, we will be back right here. Calvin will be back. We will go ahead and we will start with Calvin and his couple of days that he has spent at the church, or rather a day and a half, to catch him up to the current timeline that these two are in. And then we will we'll just get everybody going. It'll be lovely. It'll be great. If you have any sort of questions at all that you would like to see addressed, anything from the process of writing this, to what in the world is happening, to what did Mallory make up on the spot, just to let you know, it's a lot of it. But if you want to know anything about any of that, feel free to shoot us a message. Calvin will be back. He will still be Calvin. That I can promise. But if you have questions that you want addressed, we are going to do a talkback episode at the end of the season. So just send all of those to our Discord or our Twitter or our Instagram, or hit up our personal social medias, and we will compile all those, and I will make a Google form probably and release it around like episode 8.
Just make sure, like
Yeah,
we said,
have an official count to see how many times I've cried during this.
Yeah.
Like actually cried during this while streaming.
Like I said last week, if you could, especially like if it's in the Discord or something along those lines, put question in all capital letters, the word question, and then ask your question. It'll just be easier for us to filter through stuff. And you could do that on Twitter too, even though you're tagging us in it. But
wherever you want to put it is fine by us. We are more than happy to scour for these questions, should that be what it takes. I'm trying to think if there is anything else.
Morbid Colors is already on Amazon Prime to rent and or buy.
Yeah.
And then it should hopefully be released to Hulu tomorrow. Which I'm
Like literally check it at midnight and you can probably see me get my ass kicked.
I love you, but I won't be awake at midnight.
Yeah, no, I will be very much asleep. But yeah, so check that out and watch Drew get his ass kicked.
I do other things though besides that. I rob a gas station and steal a car.
Oh,
That's lovely.
wow.
Look at you go.
I am a gangster after all.
You did so many things.
I have pantyhose in my head and wear denim.
All right.
Would we like to raid? We don't have too many still left with us, but nor our friends at Norse Foundry are still doing a thing.
Sure. I don't know how to do that.
I do.
Oh yeah, we have anybody like, yeah, I'd love to give them to some
How do
people.
we
Yeah.
can we
That's
do
fun.
that through OBS?
I've always heard about it. I've never really witnessed.
I can do it from here because I'm a mod.
Cool.
Yeah.
We're just gonna raid over there. We'll hop over there.
Why
But
not?
Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. Thank you. I will see you all again on Thursday.
I'll see some of you
We'll see
tomorrow.
some of you tomorrow and Wednesday.
We'll see what happens. Come watch me steal Carly Rae Jepsen's whole vault of songs.
I'm definitely watching that shit. Like,
Please
Yeah.
do.
that sounds
We
fun as fuck.
start at 9 p.m. EST tomorrow on Ladies of D&D. It's going to be super great. No Man is the GM, and I'm playing with some wonderful people, and it's going to be great.
If you have not met Gnome Ann before in any of
They
your
are
TTRPG
lovely.
things, they're lovely. They make my life so full of sunshine.
Yep.
And
Thumbonculus is great.
their love of Furbies
Unmatched.
knows no
That's
bounds.
you got the Furby ideas from? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I heard about her.
Yes,
Gnome,
Sending
the
their stats.
Gnome
Furby
Ann
Sending
is
their
the best.
stats.
She is wonderful. She goes by she, they.
Okay.
But yeah, they're fantastic and just make my absolute day all the time. Anytime I see anything Furby related, I'm immediately
Automatically send it to
I'm
them.
like, I send it to them
Every time.
on Twitter. So yeah. But yeah, so thank you for sticking with us, and
Let's go raid some people.
let's
at North
go
Foundry.
raid for the first time. We've never
Yeah.
done it before.
I think we did it like one time maybe, and it was, I don't remember who we raided, but it was a while
I
back.
don't think I was there.
It was during one of our video game streams, so it was super late at night.
Okay.
But yeah, you all are wonderful people, and I can't wait to hopefully see you all on Ladies of D&D in the next couple days, but definitely be back here on Thursday for Descent in Avernus, and if all else fails, next Monday we will find out more about Allison, about Penelope, about Luna, and a whole bunch of other things, including the church emergency. We'll see what happens. So,
And if you want to see me like live stream making puppets, fucking just tweet at me and I'll probably do it.
yeah.
Like, just fucking tweet at me. Like,
Bye,
please,
y'all. Raid is
tweet at
happening
me.
right now.
please tweet at me. I
What-
need the interactions.
What does it do?
I'm 5 followers away from 100, please.
Okay, no, I did do it right. We're going to pop over to North Foundry. I thought I broke everything for a minute, but
Oh, okay. All
you
right.
all, sorry, it did a countdown and I got scared. But
No,
apparently,
because
there's
now
just
it's
like
doing a countdown. It's telling me that I can leave if I want to, but I'm
Oh,
gonna
okay.
raid through.
Yay!
Okay.
It's my Twitch stream. I can leave if I want
I'm gonna
to.
put us on the ending
Fantastic.
screen. Okay, thank you. Bye.
Bye.